A very warm welcome to you all to this chilly 4 a.m. in the desert city of Phoenix, Arizona. In over an hour, I'll be hopping on board a brand new plane which will take me up north to Utah. Hope you enjoy this video. Today we are flying out of Phoenix Sky Harbor International. It's massive. Its layout kind of reminds me of LAX, just not divided as much into terminals. Pretty much what I mean is that all 8 of the east concourses, they're all Terminal 4. The ones toward the west are Terminal 3. Don't ask me what happened to Terminals 1 and 2. I'm currently in the rental car center, so to get to my gate, I'll be taking the SkyTrain. We are flying out of Terminal 3 today, more specifically, Concourse F. Lucky enough for us, we only have one stop, that is the 24th Street Station.
For Terminal 3 and Terminal 4.
I already stated that Phoenix Sky Harbor is massive, and I have to remind myself of the extent to which it is, because I keep forgetting that this airport is actually a major base for not one, but 2 different airlines, American and Southwest. We'll be doing a little bit of plane spotting today, but I won't be catching many of those as they primarily operate at Terminal 4, along with most of the international airlines excluding Air Canada. I flew into here earlier on Alaska Airlines, you know, that flight. That one was also into Terminal 3, but in Concourse E. I have yet to see Concourse F, so I'm looking forward to that.
Please hold on. This train is bound for Terminal 3 and Terminal 4. Next stop, Terminal 3.
America's friendliest airport, huh? You know, I'm not very familiar with Sky Harbor, so let me know in the comments what you think of it. Would you agree that Phoenix Sky Harbor is America's friendliest airport? Let me know down in the comments what your experiences are here. Anyways, let's enjoy our little ride. We already know we're approaching Terminal 3 as we see some Delta planes come into view. I don't know what that 757 is doing away from the gate, but I'm sure it has its reasons for being there. Just realized at the second that this is one of the rare 300s. Delta is the airline I'm flying today, but instead on an Airbus A321NEO. Kinda wish it would be on that 757. I was hoping to spot my plane from here, however, none of those aircraft which we just passed are NEOs, so I gotta wait a bit more. My brand new NEO came in last night from New York JFK, so I know it's here, just not where we passed. There are like 5 flights to Salt Lake coming up, wow! But yeah, mine is the earliest one, flight 770, codeshare KLM 5545. Gate F6, departing 6:40 a.m. As we enter into the concourses, we are greeted with a beautiful modern terminal. I can tell it was renovated recently. Terminal 3 is also highly abundant in convenience stores and places to eat, and to my surprise, most of them were open, if not all. You know, this airport may stand a chance at being one of my favorites in this country. Probably up there with Salt Lake and the new LaGuardia terminal. You know, the architecture reminds me a lot of Salt Lake Airport, which is ironically where I'm going. I went and got some breakfast at Panera and then decided to do some plane spotting. Started here at F12. We got a Delta Airlines Boeing 737-800 headed for Seattle. Around this end of the terminal you can see this little guy. You can also see Concourse F, which I guess that's where United and Alaska go. But most of the traffic you'll see at Concourse E is, well, ultra low-cost carriers and Delta. A few others. Here at Gate F11 we've got a Delta A321, which I reviewed twice previously. You should definitely check out those videos. Beside that one at F10 we've got another A321, this one going to Detroit. My flight to Salt Lake will be going out of Gate F6, like I said before. I think the weather will be alright in Salt Lake, so I'm expecting a smooth flight, shouldn't be any delays. And this is my plane, a brand new Airbus A321NEO of the tail number November 530 Delta Echo. The Neo just looks incredible in my opinion, with the big engines and the cockpit mask design. You can also see my plane from the other side, and one thing that I did not mention in my previous video covering Delta's Neo is that Delta's Neo, along with a lot of the other A321neos, have a different door configuration than what's typically seen on generic A321s, where instead of 8 doors, we have 4 doors with 4 window exits. Standing next to my plane at F7 is the morning Delta flight to Los Angeles, operated by this SkyWest Airlines Embraer 175 of the tail number November 291 Sierra Yankee. When I read the tail number, I immediately recognized this plane, as I had flown on it just last year. I thought it was a cool coincidence that I'm not only seeing the plane again, but I'm also seeing it stand right beside another plane which I would also fly on today. Unfortunately, when I took the flight on this plane, I didn't record a video on it. However, I have a trip report on a different Embraer 175 of Delta. As a matter of fact, on board one of its close sister ships, coming in a few weeks to this channel, so there's that. And then to the left of that plane, there was another Airbus A321neo of Delta going to JFK. This one is tail November 533 Delta Tango, also brand new. Not long after, I spotted it pushing back behind the Embraer. This morning, gates F6 through F12 were all occupied with Delta Airlines planes. The rest of the gates held some of the ultra low-cost flights, like the Spirit A320 with sharklets. That one pushed back pretty soon, but I also spotted a few Frontier Airbus planes, like this A320neo, and this one too. And there was a third one. But this is all there is to see at this airport. I am in for a short flight, but it's Delta's A321neo. I'm still very excited for it. Then again, I sure wish I was on the JFK flight. I'm in seat 37A this morning, which coincidentally is the same seat number I was in on both of my Lufthansa A321 flights from almost 2 years ago. And we still have 291 Sierra Yankee right beside us. Still very happy to see that little plane again. But not long after I sat down, it left the gate to begin its journey to LAX. One of my favorite things about Delta are their seatback screens. It's always a treat to have these on short-haul flights. Got a massive selection of entertainment as well. It's such a shame that this flight is only an hour long. The only aircraft types in Delta's fleet that don't have these are their regional jets and their Boeing 717s. The rest should have them, though you should be aware that some of their 737s and 757s still have the outdated screens. They also offer info on their entire fleet and some of their hubs. And as usual, the cabin crew handed out free earbuds. Yeah, United, I'm talking to you. Just get these on your 9-hour flights. The aircraft's interior was fresh and clean, with astounding mood lighting. Another thing I like about Delta is how they flash these interesting color schemes. Same with Southwest on their 737 Maxes. The legroom, as usual with Delta, was just fine. Delta offers free Wi-Fi to SkyMiles members on at least a majority of their aircraft. I actually joined SkyMiles quite recently, however, that was after I took this flight, so I couldn't try it out. I'll be sure to next time though. Seat 37A is one of the last few rows in the plane, which allowed for some of my best wing view shots. I probably should mention that this is my first time flying Delta in basic economy. Basic economy fares with Delta don't allow changes, seat selection, nor a possibility to earn miles. You can cancel these types of tickets for partial e-credit, but there is still a cancellation charge. But you still get a free carry-on with Delta Basic, which makes it preferable over other airlines. But because of all the other restrictions, I rarely ever fly with a basic economy ticket. The only other time I did was with Alaska Airlines on the flight here. So yeah, because this is a basic economy ticket, this seat was assigned to me randomly. But I think I got pretty lucky with it. Despite the enormous size of Sky Harbor Airport, our taxi route was quick and simple. We just headed west and made a quick turn onto runway 7 left. There are 4 airlines that operate the Phoenix to Salt Lake route, being Delta, American, Southwest, and Frontier, all from Sky Harbor. However, Allegiant offers flights from Phoenix Mesa to Provo, which is a city not too far from Salt Lake. At this time it was about 7 AM, which meant that the sun was beginning to rise. Let me tell you all, this is one of my favorite takeoffs. This is only my second time on one of Airbus's Neos. However, one thing I noticed is that it is quite a bit quieter than a standard member of the A320 family. I hope to fly on more of these in the future. I am currently booked for spring on the Zurich to Stuttgart route with Swiss, and the Barcelona to Munich route. Neither of them are set to be a Neo at the moment, however, that may change. If you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like and comment on this video, and make sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content like this.
If we do put that seatbelt sign back on, please seatbelt signs. Walk over.
Delta's onboard service consists of a complimentary drink and snack choice. They offer a choice of 4 different snacks: Biscoff cookies, sun chips, granola bars, and almonds. A more extensive selection than what I usually see, which is nice. The flight attendant actually let me have 2 snacks. I went for the sun chips along with their signature Biscoff cookies. This is a great crew. And for my drink, I went for a Coke. The nighttime suburb shots I got during takeoff, along with these late sunrise views, were astounding, and were no doubt the highlight of this already wonderful flight with Delta. I don't know if it's too early to say this with everything I got coming up, but this stands a chance at being one of my favorite flights of 2024. We're also gonna take a quick look at the seat pocket contents before we begin our approach into Salt Lake. The Wi-Fi brochure at my seat was damaged, but I really don't care.
Fasten your seat back and tray table are in their upright and locked position, and your aisle armrest is lowered.
As we made our descent into Utah's capital, I got some breathtaking shots of the snowy mountains.
Be stowed at this time. Please remember that exit signs on this plane identify each exit with a green symbol and arrows indicating the door.
Our approach into SLC had us fly parallel to the runway, and then make a 180 turn to land on runway 16 right.
And welcome to Salt Lake City, where the local time is approximately 8:18. Please stay seated with your seatbelt fastened and leave all carry-on items stowed until the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign.
My final score for this flight is 9.4 out of 10, breakdown coming up here in a moment. This morning flight was a real treat, not just because of the stunning window views, but also because of Delta's wonderful crew and service, along with one of my favorite short-haul hard products. You've probably noticed that I've taken many Delta flights in these past few months, and they almost always excel in these areas. I mean, I fly them a lot for a reason. In my personal opinion, they offer the best economy experience in the United States, at least on short and medium medium haul. But then again, there's JetBlue, which I still have yet to try, and based on what I've heard, they probably can compete with Delta. I hope to take a flight with them eventually, so that maybe I can compare the two. Nonetheless, this was a wonderful flight as usual, and I'll try to chill with all the Delta reviews for a bit, although in my next video I will be flying on their regional branch, Delta Connection. But that will be a rather interesting review, as we'll be flying to what will be the smallest commercial airport covered on this channel, and then my review after that will be out of there with Alaska SkyWest. I'm not going to say what the airport is yet, however, let's just say that these trip reports I got coming in and out of there will be the first trip reports on YouTube on those routes. I'm planning to upload them in February and try to extend them out a bit because they're the last ones in my current backlog. However, I am so excited to make them.